Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, as we can see, there is not too much going on here. We are basically we just seem to be oscillating around this range, above, below, above, below. A bit of bar price action coming here on the obviously lower time frames, but yeah, not much to report. Realistically, we are still kind of stuck in quite a relatively tight trading range. And yeah, awaiting direction, awaiting a move either down towards these lows, these $26,000 lows, and then maybe beyond, or up to these $33,500 area and level, and then maybe beyond there. If we want to try and see what the stock market is gonna give us direction wise, it is potentially looking like it could move to the upside here, but maybe a bull flag. We're above this resistance here, just this around 4,140 level. So yeah, could we get some acceleration to the upside up to the next level of around 4,300? We potentially could, and that could be a bullish basically a bullish tailwind for Bitcoin to drag us up. Also, we have the DXY, which has been grinding up recently, potentially forming a rising wedge after a move down. So yeah, potentially a bearish formation that we've got, or a bearish formation, or a formation that can break to the downside. We've got that forming. So yeah, if we take out this trend line to the downside, then yeah, we could see the move back down to this support area, well, back down towards this support area that didn't quite touch anyway. If we do break to the upside, obviously we've got the resistance, this target up here, which I'm pretty sure we would be able to get up to, and then decide whether we get rejected, come back down, or whether we continue onwards and upwards to new recent highs, causing a world of pain for all risk assets, and also global economies that don't obviously like obviously high dollar prices, but in effect. The 10-year also over 3% here. As we can see, it got supported by its support area. It looked like it could potentially forming a head and shoulders, but didn't break the net line, so then bounced all the way back over 3% at least, and we are sat here above 3% as well. So not ideal. However, this move was happened with stock markets generally to the upside, so you can kind of look at this as a risk on play, tentative risk on play, with some of the money coming out of the bond market, obviously then driving those yields up, and then going into stock markets driving them up over that period of time. Gold just not doing a lot really. Obviously we've got uncomfortably bullish looking commodity price charts. This is surely gonna be the headlines, even more so going forwards, and going to be causing all sorts of problems globally going into just going into the tail end of this year, I think. So yeah, there's another big problem incoming, because we also already have the big problem with this and fuel prices, and then governments having to look at subsidies to people so they can basically buy fuel, heat their homes, all that cool stuff, and if they're gonna have to start doing that with food as well, I mean, it's getting very Venezuela stroke Zimbabwe like, isn't it? So yeah, just difficult times potentially with the prices of these things. Food and energy mainly. Obviously housing may or may not be able to remain elevated, and I mean, yeah, if it does come down, I mean, whilst that may be better for a lot of people, it's also not going to be good for a lot of people. So there you go. The Fed wants its reverse wealth effect anyway. I think it just kind of forgot though that its actual wealth effect didn't really work that well. and just promoted even greater equality, wealth inequality. And I just suspect the reverse wealth effect won't do the opposite so far as decrease the wealth inequality. I think it will just further increase the wealth inequality as the lower half of the lower echelons of society will just struggle more, and then the richer people will just stay relatively rich, and also probably accelerating away from the lower income society. So yeah, just not an ideal scenario. All in all, I mean, basically the financial system has been usurped, manipulated, controlled, and all sorts of dastardly things that have made it highly inefficient, and ultimately only really beneficial to the people in charge and at the expense of everyone else. So very generally, this is just how a system like this is going to pan out. And it ain't going to look too good, and that is obviously why we're getting lots of authoritarian measures trying to put in place all sorts of obviously, you know, the Davos people, the Davos lot at the World Economic Forum, are basically panicking with like they're going to have to usher in new levels of controls and new narratives and all that stuff, because they in what they call stakeholder capitalism, them being the stakeholders, they aren't gonna fare so well going forwards if obviously they don't manage to maintain their stakes. So they want us to own nothing, them to own everything, them to be the stakeholders, them to be the stakeholder capitalists, and us basically just to live just on handouts. So yeah, it's just not a system that can work, and these guys are just the absolute bane of this planet. So yeah, there is that. There is that as well going on. Suffice it to say, the system as it is not going to maintain for, like, say, another 10 years at least. And it is going to come to a head, which is why we're seeing all wild stuff from the elites, just the last throes of the major stealing, grabbing all the resources and everything they can. That's a very positive message there for everybody. Let's have a look at stochastics for Bitcoin, see how they are doing. Oh, we did actually forget to look at the Ethereum Satoshi pairing. A few people puking out of their Ethereum positions, dumping it against Bitcoin. So this has been a pretty aggressive move to the actual relative lower side of our major range. You can kind of see if we extend this level along, which we've not realistically had to look at for a long time, you can see that we are approaching that. So I mean, you have to kind of expect a decent bounce here, even if the bounce doesn't get us all the way back towards the top of the range. It's going to have to bounce us a bit. It'll be difficult to see us just come straight down and straight through this level. The Ethereum USD pairing still maintaining, it's just about maintaining this lower level, important level here, as we can see. If we just move to a different time frame so it shows up better, you can see this level pretty important to hold here. Maybe we get some wicks below. I mean, we've obviously had some slight wicks below, but yeah, maybe we do hold this and then turn back up. But this kind of if you squint, kind of does look like a head and shoulders as well. And I don't even want to put should we put a projected target on this, just a rough projected target, just for a laugh. It won't be as extreme as it kind of looks, because obviously as this moves, so wait a minute, go negative. So obviously it's because we're in log there. So yeah, we'll just have to ignore that, because I don't think I'm getting negative 1200 ETH. People paying to you to take their ETH off them. Not quite, but yeah, there you go. Not the most bullish looking of formation. However, it does not to say that it just can't be invalidated as bounce. There's some hopium, but yeah, obviously you guys know we've got the merge coming. Hopefully soon, hopefully soonish, hopefully this year. Obviously, lots of market participants don't have the same confidence in the Ethereum Foundation to actually push through that update. So they seem to be puking out of ETH. But obviously, we do have global macro just bearishness to contend with as well. So let's look at those stochastics. How are we gonna get this acceleration to the upside above 3200 and then towards 33, maybe even above 33 and a half? 4 hour is gonna give us some upward momentum. 8 hour kind of turning back over at the moment. 10 hour, the similar, kind of turning back over. 12 hour isn't looking too bad at all though, got plenty of room to run. Daily looking like it could turn back down, has ground up towards a bullish zone, but if it does turn over here, wouldn't be the best signal. Buy daily is looking fantastic though, so it kind of shows that maybe longer, like maybe ultimately, even if we do get some pullbacks, the higher time frames can drag us through, along with 3 days still pointing up as well. 5 day turned up from this low level also, and then weekly we're hoping will turn up soon. We were hoping the bi-weekly would as well, but like it was starting to have a little bit, obviously you can see it's a bit of king, but now is pointing back down again pretty aggressively. So yeah, I mean the weekly and 5 day, and then hopefully the weekly, the 3 day and 2 day, the higher time frames basically are potentially going to be able to drag us to the upside. Do they get us get us above this resistance area? That is a key question. If it does, it opens up a whole lot of excitement up to potentially even around just under 40,000. But yeah, we'll just have to see which way it breaks. Yeah, I mean that is about it. So remember, this is not financial advice, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.